To the teacher who lost it. We see you, dear heart. We see your window rolled down, eyes and throat ablaze in anger, your cries of distress. We bear witness to the weight you've been shouldering and understand your need to feel safe, seen and heard. We know the overwhelm, frustration, and exhaustion, and the courage it takes to still show up every day for the young ones in your care. Those of us in education are familiar with this undercurrent of rage, for our students and for ourselves. It is a frightening place to visit, as we haven't yet been shown how to befriend our rage, so we leave it untouched. But rage and frustration, when tended to, can usher momentum towards a different interaction with the education system, one that benefits ourselves and our students. That's what this letter is about. This is a letter for every educator, for the 50% of educators who are considering quitting their job within their first 5 years, for the educator who finds themselves resentful of memes, reminding them to practice self-care without any real tips to get them there, for educators who feel trapped between wanting better boundaries and serving students, for educators who feel patronized by the system when they find themselves unwilling or unable to do more. We live in a time where educators feel scared to express dissent beyond the normalizing vent sessions in the break room. If an educator speaks out on anything, they might be labeled unfit, unwell, mentally unstable, and as we've seen in some cases, placed on administrative leave. The ground is fertile for opposition, and we're opposing each other too, forgetting that we're all educators in this together, with the same intention of caring for children. Yet we are dehumanizing one another for having different opinions on how to best do that. We're forgetting that diversity extends beyond skin color and exists in every aspect of nature too, in multitudes of creative expression and solutions, and this creativity exists in us, in our perspectives on how to build a more beautiful and full expression of what we are capable of creating in education. There is an invitation to pay close attention to what these dissenting voices are trying to share. Distressed educators are our canaries in the coal mine of the education system, and their songs teach us something. This is an opportunity to listen, connect, and acknowledge. Their song is an invitation to explore deeply what it means to be human, to have a body and mind with limits, and an intuitive sense of balance. Those who are, quote, losing it, are shining a spotlight on the exploitative nature of education in America and how teachers are crumbling under the weight of it. We are the ones who have the voices and heart to propel a shift. There exists a possibility to reverse the conditioning that has convinced us that this is just the life of a teacher. With awareness, we can shift the idea that it requires self-sacrifice to do our jobs fully. We can reconcile with a belief that selflessness is a measure of success. Teachers can be empowered to choose how they interact with the system, rather than the system dictating to teachers exactly how to interact with it. There's an invitation for us educators to do our jobs well, while also deeply prioritizing our own wellness. We can reshape the system, each of us, in small moments and personal choices. What does this invitation look like then? How might we get there? Well, it's inhabiting the belief that caring for ourselves is caring about students, that tending to ourselves first is not selfish, but it is vital and necessary for the well-being of students and our society. It is understanding that self-care is not only found in acts of rejuvenation, but in cultivating connection to ourselves and listening to our own knowing. It's engaging with tools and strategies for self-regulation that can be called upon when confronted with challenging behaviors or relationships. It is fortifying resilience through inner awareness and reforming habits. It's equipping ourselves with tangible practices to facilitate effective action towards change. Educators, we can only model resilience by embodying resilience. Many of us with dissenting voices will continue to do our jobs well, from a place of unprecedented boundaries, of building our capacity to know our limits, and of engaging in the behaviors and mindsets of self-preservation. We will do our jobs with a deep enough love for ourselves and our students that we're willing to take risks to build a better future, including having clear limits on our time and energy. We invite you, educators, who refuse to be complicit in a system which would require you to be broken, to engage with yourself on a deep level of nurturing and self-exploration. We invite you to root into something other than the weight you're holding up. You might unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders down, and tune into your own knowing. You could bring your hands down into your lap and open them softly. And when the rocks fall around you, you can know that you weren't meant to hold up a crumbling system forever. If enough of us do this over and over and unite at the crumbling, we'll have the resilience to rebuild a system of education that serves both educators and students from the roots up. Thank you so much for listening. With sincere warmth, Shea and Jenifer, Wise Mind Educational Services. For more information on our upcoming series for educators, please visit the link below. The series is often reimbursed by districts. Follow us at #NurturingTheEducator.